All right, so let you know from the beginning. This one might get a bit long, so just wanted to let you know. So I'm in a vibe tonight, and my intention for the last 2 weeks of this month is to get this done, to tell this story of the past 6 years and how I figured this shit out. And now I'm gonna use what I figured out to play the game and beat the game, right? So my intention was to actually go over all the December journal entries that I have been making to give context to the one I just made. But lo and behold, the message to be delivered was different, right? Because it was it was downloaded that I need to share the truth. And it was reminded to me by hearing the song. So, sometimes them shits hit chords and shit. But this song hit a chord, like that vibrational somatic shit. Damn. Alright. So one of the things I learned this year when I first started telling the story is that people was really most attracted to the losses and all that shit, to the heartbreak, to the fall down off the ladder. That was what got the most attention if I fell off. So maybe this will be of interest to you because we about to dive deep. I hope you got your scuba gear. Shit was transformative. And sometimes transformation is pain, right? No pain, no gain, they say. All right. So I'm gonna let the story speak for themselves, but I never really been public with this shit yet. But it ain't nothing I ain't trying to hide. It just wasn't relevant at the moment. But the most relevant message here is the concept of, right? So I've been stopping people whenever I hear the word mentor because that word I realize is not only become so overused and whatnot, but etymologically, what it infers is that you're beneath someone. And everybody wants a mentor, right? Everybody looking for someone to teach them how they know what they know they need to do, right? Because all you need is YouTube. YouTube's the biggest mentor. But anyways, for any of you guys out there that have a mentor and or want a mentor and or think a mentor is real, mentor is just a fucking word. It's not real. What is a mentor anyway? Someone you learn from? That's a teacher and a professor in another language, right? Or this is just a learned individual in another language. So really what you need is advice and knowledge, not mentorship. And the reason that I say that, because subconsciously, when you have a mentor, you're beneath that person all the way deep in your brain, which already puts you at a loss, right? And everyone wants to, so it's like we're seeking to be beneath someone. And the thing is this, mentors are people too. And everybody put on this facade for the world, right? Like they perfect. Everybody want to be seen as some perfect thing. But mentors could be just as ugly as everyone else. So how would you feel if you knew that you was putting someone above you that was uglier than the ugliest you've ever seen? And know that you idolize and glorify this person as some shit, right? To know that a mentor, someone you considered a mentor, would do something that you wouldn't in your dying moments do. Hold up, then you're not really a mentor. You're not who I thought you was. You're not even as real as me. So what I'm calling you a mentor for, right? So those young ones that are seeking this thing because it's all over the internet, don't seek mentorship, seek a relationship with God, okay? Because man has ego, and sometimes ego tends to take over. And when ego knows that someone thinks it's a mentor, it'll start to, manipulate that, use that, boom, boom, boom. You don't need a mentor. You just need belief in yourself and knowledge and action. So anyways, telling you all this shit because I had a mentor, or I thought I did. the only person in my life I ever even called a mentor after the age of 25. Because I had mentors up until 25 and shit, network marketing, all that. But at a certain point, I made it to a level that I was kind of like at 25. I don't know. I was just at a level where I was, I was winning enough to be like most people wasn't on my level and doing what I was doing. But then I found that one individual, that one nigga from the hood that supposedly did something he ain't do. Supposedly made it out, had a seemingly even worse circumstance than me, and made it out in the corporate world and was successful. It's like, damn, homie, you doing it big. Like, I thought I was really one of the unique ones, but shit, the level you doing it at, maybe I could look at you as a mentor. He inspired me. But where I went wrong is that I consider him a mentor. So for 5 years, I had thought this guy was a mentor, and this motherfucker literally, like, metaphorically submerged my head underwater for 5 minutes, which means obviously for you dummies, he tried to kill me, metaphorically. For 5 years, I consider this person mentor, right? So yeah, I'm going out this year. I always want to try to auto correct someone when I hear that. And I hope that you guys see the emotions that are being relayed right now. I'm not singing this for no reason. I realize the fundamental what's the call of the whole thing, because my best friend in the world used to always tell me over and over again, why you mentor this nigga? He want to be like you. He used to tell me that shit. And I thought he just was unaware. I'm like, bro, you don't know what it takes, like, what it's like to do business at this level. Like, why would he want to be like me? I'm just this little small fry. But, sometimes the messages are given to you, just ignore them. So anyways, I considered someone a mentor who really wasn't even a mentor because he wanted to be like me anyway. Give or take, not to say that that was an objective thing. However, sometimes your mentors think you, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they live through you. So I realized that the entire time, my mentor didn't even have a fraction of the heart that I had. For 5 years, I always thought he was iller than me. So, and that what that led to was him being able to manipulate me and literally almost kill me. So we're gonna start off like this. I'm gonna share one entry, a short little entry called "How I Lost Everything," and it was the most viewed entry that I had on my blog this year. So I put it into a audio version, and I'm gonna share that for the first time. I haven't put it out yet, but then I'm gonna follow that up with something I've never shared with anybody beside my girl on a deep mushroom trip, because this, it just get real raw and raw. You feel me? But I ain't got nothing to hide, and neither should you, because your darkness is your light. And everyone has a side that sometimes they don't want to admit, but that's what you have to do so that you can resonate with others. Because people know I'm whooping my ego's ass right now. And I put them to the side so I could connect with you. And really, the reason I'm doing this is not to go on no rant. Like, this is not a pity me party. I never even put this shit out because I've recreated my reality. But I want to share this message and, put out there into the universe for anyone that needs to hear it. Do never consider anyone a mentor, an advisor, a person that you can learn from. But no one is better than you. Everyone is the same thing. We are all equals. You are that thing. Remember that. The earlier you realize that, the faster it comes. So, about to go hard. Feel me? Yo, on this journey, there's ups and downs. There's smiles and frowns. There's devils and crowns. There's gods and clowns. Okay? It goes up and it goes down, homie. Embrace it all. Learn and keep going. Get stronger. Take the lessons and the blessings. Keep moving. Keep grooving. Stop playing with yourself. All right, so here we go. It's what I realized, losing everything. Okay. Excuse me. This shit all gotta be backed up by vibe music. This that vibration that help take away them old ugly frequencies. A classic Jay-Z song always do the trick. Alright. This isn't something my ego wants to share with the world. It has been holding me back from going public with it because it wants to maintain this level of prosperous, on top of the world, inflated nonsense. When truly, what I'm going through is the complete opposite of that. It's like I don't want to be honest about the pitfalls and only want to talk about the triumphs, the achievements, the good, without mentioning its twin. It's like I'm trying to brush the bad under the rug, but fuck that. By the way, that's a common theme in all these journal entries. I always talk about the good and its twin, right? It's the good and the bad. We always want to talk about the good, but you can't forget about the twin. You got that side. There's always a good and a bad part, right? No need to be ashamed. No need to be embarrassed. In life, there are wins and there are losses. I got myself into some shit that really was some shit. And that shit stinks. Like the motherfucking sewer pipes under the city streets. So to begin, back in February 2021, when I was on top of the world, someone who I considered at the time to be a brother came to me and told me he had gotten himself into some trouble and needed some help. The story was much, much more elaborate, but I'm saving y'all the drama. He told me that he had gotten robbed for what seemed to be well over $2 million. Might I add, this guy had in the previous 3 to 4 years grown a multi-million-dollar real estate company that seemed to be the biggest in its class with over 50 employees. He had all the previous success that made it so easy to fall hook, line, and sinker into whatever sob story he was telling me. So to continue, after about a 3-hour conversation of him telling me how he had everything taken from him, he then asked me if I would be willing to help him out and loan him some money so he can get back on his feet. He asked me for $150K, and the next day it was wired. So that's where the story began. And over the next 6 months, he had convinced me to lend him an additional $500K. Shake my motherfucking head. And like you probably could already tell, he conned the shit out of me. Might I add that I was not the only one. There were many others that lost money in this elaborate hoax as well. Prominent people whose names I will not mention. Just know, he was definitely the hood Houdini, the black Bernie Madoff. This motherfucker was like that Netflix series about the German girl who conned all of Manhattan's elite. He was that, but the black version. And it wasn't Manhattan. It was Long Island, Newark. And that's how literally all that I had worked for went right down the fucking drain. 6 years of blood, sweat, and tears mixed up in this motherfucker's bullshit. In total, I was duped out of $640K, and that's how I lost everything. I considered this guy to be a brother I never had. At the time, I even considered him a mentor, someone I looked up to, and someone I picked up from below the gutter that he threw me back into. It's that crab in the bucket theory. It's a hard fall, but a valuable lesson. The point of the article was to share what I learned having lost everything. So I will continue as promised. Here are some of the lessons I learned losing $640K in 2021 at the age of 29. 1. Money really is power, and once you lose it, you lose it. 2. I was really careless with what I had, and I need to be much, much more secure with my shit. 3. Although my life literally was left in shambles, I still remain the same me, tried and tested, through and through. 4. That money really does make people do some ugly, ugly things. Real fucking ugly. 5. The world really does turn a cold shoulder when you don't have shit anymore. Peace. Alright, so I'm going to provide a little bit of context to the next part because it's been an overall theme this past 16 months. And that is that after having grown my first company from 0 to 5 million in 4 years, And after closing it down, I knew deep down that I never wanted to do it alone again. And that for the next endeavor, I needed to attract the right partners because teamwork makes the dream work. And also being a solopreneur is fake anyway. That's just whack and cap and leads to burnout all the time. So this person, right, was someone that at that time I was like, shit, maybe I could partner with this person and utilize some of what I thought were his strengths. So in the middle of that process, when he was taking the money from me, I was giving it to him. He really did it so slyly, because that entire time I thought it was all real, and I thought we were friends. I thought it was motherfucking no joke. But in that process, I had written a journal entry because I was trying to tell him that I was trying to redesign my company, and that the energy play that I had was the future, and it was the play that was going to make us the hundreds of millions. And I just wanted to tell someone about it because no one really knew about it at this time. I never really shared things with no one, I wouldn't even share this with anyone. But I was just trying to tell him the what was at stake or what was coming in this clean energy revolution, this new industrial revolution. This is the biggest thing that ever happened to capitalism or to an economy. I was trying to paint that picture like, yo, this is how I see us building it. So how can you help? So I wrote this journal entry to be honest with him in regards to what I was looking for, because I believe on developing relationships based on trust, okay? Because trust is the most important fundamental thing in business. So I try to be honest and wear my heart on my sleeve because, that's that's just my methodology. So I wrote about it. And I'm going to share this because although this is the part that I feel like may be a bit embarrassing, it's only embarrassing because I thought so highly of someone. This is crazy. But I want to share with you how it doesn't matter what your intentions are. It doesn't matter, or also people will fuck anyone. Okay? Don't think that being a nice guy will get you anywhere. Actually, it will get you seeked out like food. Motherfuckers hunt nice guys, right? So this is my lesson to you. Mentors is fake. And if you have a mentor, then they see you as a nice guy anyway. So if they're the wrong mentor, you subject to have equity in your company taken. Probably these VCs is doing the same thing. But this is my story. And I'm sharing this with you for two reasons. One, to share with you like what my intentions were with the person that took everything. So you could realize the real, I would say, hero's journey element that happened. Because that motherfucker almost I literally had to be resurrected. But for number two as well, I want my future partners in business, I want to see this and I want them to know fundamentally how I feel about the aspect or the idea of partnerships to get our company to be where it is that I see it being, because it's on some Mars shit, space time, it's definitely out this world. And I need a galaxy crew to make it happen. So for y'all, I know first we got to establish this trust, right? But for the right person, we could build we could build a new world. And this is the mission. So yeah, so shit has changed since here. But fundamentally though, I don't want to build alone, right? This is way too big. We're trying to create 1,000 jobs, electrify 10,000 commercial buildings, and electrify 50,000 residential homes. And really be a catalyst for the new world, really do it. That's how, and create jobs via an economic prosperity, which leads to, really change the world, make businesses that can change the world, conscious businesses. I'm about that. I don't know if I'm gonna share it all. I'm gonna share enough for y'all to get the message. So it was July 8, 2021. And I had seen a memory in my phone where it was I did a party for this guy, which is how I met him. So I met him because when I was running my dad's party furniture business, he had a big party and he rented some furniture, some G shit. So I thought he was cool. From that point on, just how the relationship developed. So it was 7 years ago. And at this time I had moved out to Newark about 4 months before. I was on the cusp of closing down my company, and I needed to speak to someone about the aspect of what we were going to become, because I was closing down the company to, go from a caterpillar to a butterfly. I knew what was coming in the future, which is what we are now living. So I was like, 7 years ago, I met my big bro. That was the concept. That's why I named it 7 years ago. So yeah, you know, what are you going to title this mega style? So this is an app that asks you questions that helps you journal sometimes. So I'm gonna call it 7 years ago. What area are you gonna? What area are you triggered by? Triggered by business. Who are you stacking? My bigger brother. What about this person are you stacking? His role in my life. It's hard to explain because I never felt it, but it feels like I just met my bigger brother for the first time in my life. It's like 29 years. I never got to meet him, but being that we share the same father, I always wondered what he was like. Being that I have 4 younger sisters, I only experienced the role of being a bigger brother. I never experienced the role of having an older brother, or of what having an older brother feels like. But low key, I always wanted one. I wanted to look up to someone like everyone looks up to me. I low key wished I had someone for leadership throughout this fucking journey. Sometimes just a shoulder to lean on that I knew would be there whenever I needed it. Someone to vent to, and someone to look back and let me know to switch lanes because he already hit the pothole ahead. It would have probably have avoided me a few flat tires that were unnecessary and easily avoidable. An older brother departs wisdom on his younger brother. It serves both equally as well, because giving feels equally as good as receiving. I know that feeling all too well. I always wanted to be a good role model for my sisters. It was a part of what drove me to become a winner, so that they could know it was possible. In this moment, why has my bigger brother triggered you to feel? Or what has he triggered you to feel? So now this is a reprint. I'll just start here because. So in this moment, why has my bigger brother triggered you to feel? Because he shared a video with me of him speaking to his staff. And in that video, I saw for the first time a side of him that I knew was there. But all right, just to provide some context, he shared a video with me where he was speaking to his sales team, him and his and a guy I'm now great friends with, Abraham. But they did a sales meeting to a sales team, and the way he has spoken to his team and how real he was in that it embodied and reflected the leadership that I saw of the future. It was just real shit. It was touching. So at that time, I was like, damn, like this nigga just inspired the shit out of me. This motherfucker real, probably like as if someone's seen this video. But anyways, Abraham would know what I'm talking about. But that is what I was mentioning, because that video, at that point, I was like, yo, I'm fucking with him. Like after this video, I was like, damn, yeah, I'm definitely this is what got me to invest in his quote unquote business, because I thought he was a real one. But he played everybody. Like he truly was the Houdini. Like this nigga was, I tip my hat to him how well he did it. But anyways, just to provide that context. So he shared a video with me of him speaking to his staff. In that video, I saw for the first time a side of him that I knew was there but never got close enough to see. He's a bad motherfucker, because only bad motherfuckers can create what he has. But we never were close enough where I ever got to see him in action like that. It's like he was the undefeated heavyweight champ that I was fighting to become one day. He was the only other nigga, literally, that I seen playing the game at a higher level than me in my own life. I don't know anyone else playing it at this level in business. I always knew I was a different kind of nigga than most, but he was a different type of nigga than me. So of course, a nigga peep game. I needed to know what his pimping was like. because he was the Bishop Don Juan of my day. In this moment, if you could scream at my bigger brother, what would you say? My nigga, thanks for being the fucking man. Your strength strengthened me. Your success inspired my success. And your ability to conquer the game gave me the belief that I could conquer the game too. Your dedication inspired me, OD. You made a nigga believe that I could win, even though no one around me has ever won. Your success truly inspired me. Your wins I used to live through. I wanted to be like you. I wanted to win too. So every time you won, it's like a part of me won too. Cause you're the only other nigga I know that truly made it out the hood in the sport I always liked best, the ultimate sport of business. In this moment, if you could force my bigger brother to think, say, feel, or do anything, what would it be? I would tell him that he had a younger brother he didn't know about, and our Father expects nothing less from us than to build the kingdom of heaven on earth. We were bred to be kings, and kings we shall become. It's time for us to come together as the brothers that we are and create what it is we are being called to create at this time. It's time for us to build the kingdom of heaven here on earth, and our partnership in business is the vehicle by which we will build it. This is what Father told me to remind you of when I finally met you. That was his only message. He said, Ra, you will meet your brother later in life, and you will not know he is your brother immediately. It will take 7 years, but you will feel drawn to him. You will stick by him, and through him you will learn much. He will shine a light on the path you are to take. And remember that you are your brother's keeper, so when he needs you, you must be there for him. There will come a time when this will happen. Your brother will call on you in an unexpected time of need. I can't.